What's up, good people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Isaac Insights. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Yes, and good people, it's on a Sunday. Watu tumeenda kanisani. So we are just here chilling again. We thank God for the favor. We thank God for grace. We thank God for the gift of life that He has bestowed upon us. Yes, and good people, I'm making this video. It is one video that I feel people need to get it. Yesterday I made a video saying that, hey, listen, that if you have a plan of building in the near future, a permanent house, and you are looking at your income and saying that I will do it, and maybe you have even postponed for the last 2 years, I think this video will be important, because most people, when I made that video, most people felt like, why can't you give us the breakdown of that semi-permanent? Another person asked, this semi-permanent, which house are you referring to? I'm referring to narefa kwa Semini, nyumba matope. You know the cost of bricks house and a permanent house, hiyo ya mawe tofauti ni kidogo tu. You need to know that, because when it comes to finishing, it's always the same. Tofauti ni ile tu ya kununua hizo matofali na nini, but see, their difference is not that big. So I want to give you a breakdown of a semi-permanent that I was saying that you can build such a house. Ikushikilie. I know when you build that house, as you wait to get enough money to build a house, and my war ni at least everyone to have somewhere to go. Kama mambo imekata, mambo ikikata huko nje, huko na mali unaweza rudisha, enda uweke kichwa. So I want to give you a two bedroom house quotation, just a small one. This is worth 35 iron sheets, and you need the following, because I believe if you have such a house now, ipige simiti yani plaster nje na ndani na floor, you will be good to go, and it will not be expensive, by the way. So I'm making this video. I want to tell you that if you are planning to build in the near future, this can be the best house. Na ukijenga, unajenga kwa location your kitchen itakuwa, so that when you build a permanent house, hiyo inaweza bakia kama jikoni yako, ile jikoni ya nje. So how many iron sheets are we talking here? We will need 35 iron sheets. Currently iron sheets are going for let me just give you, currently iron sheets are going for around, if you are going with MRM, they are going for around 1880, because I understand zilishuka bei kidogo. Now let me just give you the calculation. Now you need 35 iron sheets. If you are going with the other iron sheets, zile za kawaida zinaenda na 1600. And by the way, I saw Royal Mabati, these other iron sheets wanauza pesa kidogo sana. You can also consider them. So if you are building a house, your estimate for 35 iron sheets will be around, itakuwa around 52,000. That is if you get a price of 1500 to 1600, depending on the iron sheets that you will be buying. I said, when we are building this house, we are supposed to try to go economical. So don't go for expensive iron sheets. Even you can go with Dumzas alone. Dumzas in under 1350, that will be also cheap on your side, because you have a goal that you are going to achieve in the near future. But as you prepare to go for that goal, you at least have somewhere, hata ukirudi nyumbani, unaingia, unaweka kichwa. Hata si, it's not supposed to be at home alone. Unaweza kuwa umenunua kashamba mahali, unajaribu kutafuta pesa, njia zinashindikana, and maybe you have 300,000 and you feel that you want to build this house. It will be good for you. Haya, for those building in the villages, the number of posts that you will need for this house, it will be 50 posts. 50 posts will cost you around 12,000 if you are buying them from the shops, from the timber yard. it will cost you 12,000. If you are doing this in the village, it will be more cheap because you will just buy a trim for around 4k na wakukatia na 2k, so you'll find that you are using 7,000. But let's go with the timber yard because most people will consider that. Then frames, you will need 900 feet for your house, which will cost you, if you go to timber yard, it will cost you around 22,500. Then ridges, you also need you need 7 ridges, which will cost you 3,500. Then roofing nails, you will need how many kgs? You will need 5 kgs, which will cost you around 1,500. And then rubber washer, you will need 500 shillings to purchase them, because those are 5 packets. And then ordinary nails, will need 6 inches, you will need 3 kgs, going for 600. 4 inches, going for 5 kgs, 1,000. 3 inches, 3 kgs, 600. 2.5 inches, that's 2.5 inches, 3 kgs, 600. Then 2 inches, 3 kgs, 600. And then that house, you will at least put a fisher board. Fisher board is always important on any house, and you need to ensure that unaiweka ndio usiregret baadaye. And apart from just beautifying your house, it helps the protection of wind sometime, right? And then for phytos for that house, I will approximate you need 3,000 shillings to purchase phytos, because those who buy phytos, they know they are expensive. Lakini I always say that if anyone amenunua mti, the branches, you can use them as phytos. That is the advantage of buying phytos, and that's why I always say that building in Western Kenya is cheap, because if you buy a tree, you get the phytos from there, you get frames, and you get posts. So you will not even include that amount for phytos. And then that house, you need 8 windows. Remember, you are building just a house that's economical, so don't go for expensive windows. I talked about windows, by the way, yesterday, and if you followed that video, you know that you can get cheaper windows at but their quality will not be the same as the quality for permanent house. Those building a permanent house, I said you need to try your level best na muweke dirisha quality, because when you are going permanent, umejitolea mhanga. And then doors for that house, I will estimate 14,000. That is front door and back door. 14,000 will cover that. And then labor for that house, that is the first phase, I will say that it will cost you maximum 30,000. That is ile nyumba isimamishwe, because kusimamisha hiyo nyumba na kufanya nini ni 15,000. We have little things ziko hapa katikati kama kugongelea fito, kuboma. That's why I have estimated at 30,000, just to be fair to anyone who is going to do that. Those doing in the villages, I know it will be cheaper, and your labor cost can be even 20 or 25 depending on your location and where your fund is coming from. So when you look at the total cost of that house for the first phase, it will cost you 150,000. That is the first phase. And then second phase, for second phase, let me also give you the breakdown. Sand, you will need sand at least 2 lorries, which can cost you, let's give it 30,000. Approximation depending on your location, but 30,000 will give you enough sand for that house. And then cement for that house, both inside, outside, and the floor, you will need 80 bags. 80 bags will be enough. And 80 bags, as we speak, 80 bags, 80 times 900, it's coming to 72,000. So that is somehow it can look expensive, but that is it. Ukiwa na 80 bags will be on safe side. So another thing, you will need a DPM just for your flow. You will need, and this one, it will be in terms of meters. It will not be a roll kwa sababu ni kidogo tu. Then ballast, you need around 5,000. Let me put at 5,000 for that house. Since you are trying to be economical, just go na hii kokote ya kugongwa na mikono, because hiyo inakuanga somehow cheap. Then next you will be doing the, so I have said 72,000 for cement. For sand, I've said 30,000. And then for what else? What else do we need for that house? Oh, chicken wire, you will need around 15,000 for it. That's a good approximation. So our material cost for that phase is going to be around also 150,000. 150,000 plus the first 150,000. But for this case, we have not added labor. Let's give the labor for this one to be 45,000, kwa sababu plaster iko na kazi mingi, and you just need to understand that. So 45,000 plus 300,000, you get 345. I always say you need to add at least miscellaneous. With 350,000, you will build this beautiful house in your compound. Na hiyo nyumba from there unaweza jikaza, unaweza fanya pole pole, unaendelea kujikaza ukitafuta pesa ya kujenga permanent house. Good people, that is our video today. I just said that since I made a video and I was telling people that listen, badala ya kukaa tu kingoja pesa itoshe ndio uanze kujenga permanent house, you can build something yenye even during your construction, hata ukiamua kulala site, uko na place utakuwa unalala. Holidays unaweza kuja, si atuende ulipo hotel kwa maduka, una mahali unaweza lala pia. Sometimes also creating that relationship with your place huwa inakuwa mzuri sana. Good people, up to there I say thank you so much. Mungu awabariki, Mungu awabariki familia zenu, and anything that you are doing, Mungu awekelee mkono. Ninajua sisi wote tutafaulu. Thank you. Mungu awabariki sana.